This did not happen to me. I just merely know the entire story and will refrain from exaggerating it. I will be changing a few key details to protect privacy. A while back, I was in high school, excited to go home as it was Friday and I would get to spend the weekend hanging out with friends. Well, that weekend a classmate of mine died. He overdosed and the entire school was in shock. He was one of those rare popular guys that played football but talked to the kids in band, talked to the emo crowd and smoked with the stoners. He was popular, likable and all around a good guy. Well, his home life was not the best, which led him to trying harder drugs. The way he overdosed was terrible. Him, his girlfriend and his best friend were with him. They watched as he died. They tried to help him by slapping him, pouring water on him and dropping ice down his shirt. They took a video of him getting slapped in the face to wake him up. You could clearly see how purple and blue he was. It was terrible. No one was aware of this for a week. Due to both of them being high, they were afraid to call the cops, so they left. They took all the evidence and left. This led his younger brother finding his body. The entire school was in shock and couldn't believe it on Monday. The entire day you could cut the sadness with a knife. A week goes by and no one is of the wiser of his girlfriend and best friend's actions. The girlfriend's name was Anna and the best friend was Chad. Well, once that week was up, Anna, obviously feeling upset and guilty, confided in her best friend, which happens to be the deceased second cousin. Even though they were best friends, blood is thicker than water and she couldn't keep this secret. This is where all hell breaks loose and begins the revenge. The younger brother who found him has aged 10 years in 2 weeks. His dad died from DWI a year prior and now his older brother is dead, leaving him all alone with his stepdad and mom. Anna and Chad are questioned by the police, arrested, and later released. Due to them being minors, they basically got off with community service and I think some juvie time? Not sure on this part, but either way they both transferred out of the school because everyone was ready to fight them and instead went to one of those reform schools for kids that should be in juvie. They also told the cops they went over to smoke weed but left once he got into the harder shit cause they didn't want to be a part of it. Big lie. At this point, the Lee TTLE brother sees them as his brother's killers. Nothing more, nothing less. Chad had a cousin named Lexi who was still able to live in the town and defended him like her life depended on everyone forgiving him. You weren't there, you can't say what you would have done. Lexi lived for drama and always wanted to be the bearer of all news, good or bad. A lot of squabbles happened back and forth between Chad and the little brother and Lexi anytime he came to town or was on Facebook. Then through the grapevine of Lexi we found out that Anna is pregnant with Chad's baby. She tried to post it on Facebook and got bombarded with hate comments talking about what they did and how karma will get them back. It got pretty ugly and emo was uncalled for in some aspects. Some people were wishing for complications with the baby, which is very wrong to me. This obviously made Chad pissed as hell, so he tried to fire a couple of shots off and accused the victim of being an opioid-sniffing baboon to his family. Not only was this wrong, but racist. This added another layer to the already raging fire. The younger brother found out where he was and jumped him with a couple of his friends and near about sent him to see his brother wherever he may be. In the younger brother's eyes, they weren't even, and never would be no matter what. In comes Anna to fuck everything up even more. I guess maybe the guilt. She decides the baby's middle name was going to be her ex-boyfriend she helped kill. She even tried to ask the mom for permission, which of course was met with an outstanding fit of rage and anger. She obviously couldn't gatekeep the name in about 6 months? Something like that the baby is born. Something broke in the younger brother seeing the baby named after his brother who was killed by these two. Lexi uploaded videos of Chad and Anna loving on the baby and calling the baby by its middle name, his brother. He decided it was time to get rid of Chad once and for all. He already knew he was still in legal trouble and on probation for the incident, so if he got arrested with a good bit of drugs and alcohol he would go away for a while. He waited until he knew he had both of them in his possession, in the car, followed him and called the cops. Told them he was doing drugs and drinking alcohol while driving and was headed towards a road which connected to another town. This is where things go wrong, but may be right depending on which side of the fence you reside. Once the cops Reed pulling him over, he ran from them. So he was fleeing from the cops now. I guess he didn't want to go to jail? Or thought he could get away with it? I have no idea. Regardless, he wrecked his car and were surrounded by cops. Instead of surrendering, he engaged in a shootout in which he lost and died. He was shot so many times his funeral was automatically a closed casket and was apparently pretty gruesome. So now, he is dead and Anna is left alone with the baby raising it on its own. Except the drugs were not just for him, and due to what they found in the back seat, they drug tested her. She obviously failed, went to jail, and CPS took the child. Due to breaking her parole or whatever agreement she had and also under drugs, she got a hefty amount of jail time. Last I heard, she also never fully graduated and will probably have to apply to a GED program in prison. I was not Chad nor Anna, but I think they resorted to drugs so soon because they know what they did and couldn't live with it. #X200B. This has been 6 years and neither Lexi's family or the little brother's family can go near each other, both blaming each other. There has been petty squabbles, fights, and online arguments, but those would be better suited for maybe pro-revenge. Little brother still misses his brother, but has been doing better. Never was confronted for snitching. I guess he is the only person I know who can snitch and still have respect. The little brother may have been seeking nuclear or even supernova revenge but stumbled into black hole revenge. Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Reddit Diaries. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more stories from the depths of the internet. And remember, there's always something new to discover on Reddit. See you next time.